I want to talk about, how do you pronounce his name? Is it Djimon? Housou? You know, I have a problem, and let me tell you what my problem is. The problem is that y'all keep telling me that the D is silent, or the G is silent, or the J is silent in Jesus, and I call him Jesus, or the J is silent in Jorge, and I call him George. Is it Djimon Housou, or is it Djimon Housou? Oh, y'all say y'all calling it Djimon? Djimon is Djimon DJ? See, y'all don't even know. Y'all, some people are saying that the D is silent, and some people saying it's Djimon. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know. I'm just gonna call him Mr. Hansu. Mr. Hansu. That's how he talks in the movies. That's how he talks in the movies. Because eventually, you'll have to come. You'll have to fish the king. Yes, you'll have to fish the king. That's how he talks in the movies. That's exactly how. Y'all want me to call him Digimon, or you want me to call him Djimon, or you want me to call him Mr. Hanso? Mr. Hanso, give us free. Give us free. I'ma call him Mr. Hanso, because that's the way that he talks. And when you come to meet the king, you have to make sure that you are 100% cleansed, or he will cleanse you. Okay? Anyways, it's Djimon, the D is silent. All right, cool. Well, anyways, regardless, he said that he's been working in Hollywood for over 30 years and he's still broke. That's the thing that we need to evaluate, all right?
How has Hollywood changed in terms of African representation in what you see since you started out to what's being produced now?
Yes, quite a bit has changed.
I told you he
I
talks like
must
this.
say,
Oh, yes, quite a bit has changed. He talks just like that. Talk just like it.
because of course, when I came out with Amistad, I was nominated for a Golden Globe, but they ignored me for the Oscars, talking about the fact that they thought that I had just came off the boat and off the streets.
Ah! Ah! He said that they thought that he had just came off the boat and off the streets. That's a wild thing right there.
Where Steven Spielberg, used me for this film, and even though I successfully did that, they just didn't feel like I was an actor for whom we should pay any respect to. So this conceptual idea of diversity and all that, it still has a long way to go. Systemic racism don't change like that anytime soon. I mean, I'm still struggling trying to make a living.
After 30 years in this business,
After, well, let's speak, 30 years, let's say like maybe the first 10 years was really trying to, sort of acclimate myself to the industry.
and establish yourself.
And establish myself.
I'm gonna replay this whole thing over again because this is not a long clip, so I want y'all to catch the whole thing. I'm gonna replay it. He said that as an actor, I'm gonna summarize it for you guys. As an actor, diversity, equity, and inclusion, or diversity, he said diversity, but I'm gonna just throw the equity and inclusion. DEI has a long way to go in Hollywood and is systematically racist, that he's not making the money that he feels that he should make, which now I'm sure everybody is saying Tyler Perry, swoop on in and pay him what he worth. Tyler Perry is the savior of black people in Hollywood. I'm going to just tell you that. Everybody is looking for Tyler Perry to save black people in Hollywood. All right. He says that after 30 years in the business, first 10 years, he was getting acclimated. He was getting into the industry. He was getting into the game. And after 30 years, he's still struggling financially. All right. I'm going to play it over again from the beginning because I want y'all to get the whole thing and I want y'all to understand it.
Hollywood changed in terms of African representation in what you see since you started out to what's being produced now?
Yes, quite a bit has changed. I must say, because of course, when I came out with Amistad, I was nominated for a Golden Globe, but they ignored me for the Oscars, talking about the fact that they thought that I had just came off the boat and off the streets, where Steven Spielberg, used me for this film, and even though I successfully did that, they just didn't feel like I was an actor for whom we should pay any respect to. So this conceptual idea of diversity,
Chris James, you funny.
It still has a long way to go. Systemic racism don't change like that anytime soon. I mean, I'm still struggling trying to make a living.
Systemic racism because you are struggling to make a living. Okay, let's continue.
After 30 years in this business.
After, let's speak, 30 years, let's say like maybe the first 10 years was really trying to, sort of acclimate myself to the industry.
And then establish yourself.
Y'all said that they pay him with food.
I've been in this business and making films now over 2 decades and still, with 2 Oscar nominations, been in many big blockbuster films, and yet I'm still struggling financially to make a living. I'm definitely underpaid.
Growing up, you're one of the first big black actors I saw in big budget films, so it's mind-boggling to me.
But that's a sign for you that systemic racism is not something that you can deal with lightly. It's so deep inserted in so many things that we do across the board, and you don't overcome it. You just have to sort of like you have to cope with it and survive the best way you can.
What do you hope your legacy will be in this industry, for your acting, for your philanthropy?
I came to California with this compelling need to do something for my continent and do something for my people in general, and to champion this idea of reconciliation and reconnection with the motherland. I just hope that I have contributed to change.
All right, so let's deal with the elephant in the room, okay? Let's address his concern. He says he's been 30 years in the game and systematically racist because he's not making the money that he wants to make. He didn't get the awards that he feel like he deserves, and he's still struggling financially as an actor. All right. So many other factors that go into this. Let's assume, for the sake of conversation, that they didn't acknowledge him for an award. Maybe he didn't deserve it as far as them giving it to somebody else that did a better job. Maybe he did deserve it for some say, give us free in Amistad. I don't care nothing about no awards. I got invited to an awards for streamers or for YouTubers or something like that. And I was thinking to myself, man, I'm not flying out there for no award. I don't care nothing about no award. I'm about this money. Which brings us to point number 2, right? About the systematic racism, right? And I'm always wondering who deserves to get what? Like how do you determine whether or not somebody should be paid X amount of dollars or Y amount of dollars? How does that work? I thought that people get paid what they negotiated. How do we know that he don't have habits? How do we know that he don't have child support? Are you supposed to be rich? Do you deserve to be rich? Does that automatically come along with you doing big blockbuster films? I see white guys all the time that have acted in films that didn't necessarily translate into them necessarily being rich. I know some actors say that they did some roles for $5,000 for free to get their name in the door, all of this other type of stuff. How do you determine how rich somebody is supposed to be? And also, does your lifestyle factor into that? Meaning that do you automatically deserve to be rich or do you automatically deserve to have money just because you acted in some big blockbuster films? What do we know? How do we know he wasn't tricking off at the club? How do we know he ain't got no hoes on the side? I know a whole lot of YouTubers. They got 1 million plus subscribers. They got regular jobs like every single day. They go to work. They got their little 1 million subscribers. I know a whole lot of TikTokers. How do you determine whether or not you're supposed to have a whole bunch of money? Who's to determine? Who says who is supposed to get what? That's all I'm asking. When you release yourself of the demons that come along with thinking that everything is against you when you start to make adjustments, I feel like I deserve to get $30 million a year being on a news station. Does it matter how I feel, or does it matter if I'm going to make the adjustments to go and get the money myself? Not waiting on nobody. I don't really deserve to get anything from anybody. I get what I earn. And so if you don't necessarily care for it, either you go and create your own film, you go invest in your own studio, you make the adjustments, you do what you got to do. But nobody, and this is just my opinion. And I know they're going to say, Anton, maybe you don't care and all of this other type of stuff. Maybe you ain't black enough. You're not blackety black. I just don't care about grown people making excuses. I'm tired of the systematic racism trope. It just doesn't resonate with me. It's not a thing that I could really tap into. I've never really wanted to be a part of the Victim Olympics. I never really cared about what anybody else thought. I just go and do whatever it is that I want to do when I want to do it. And that's just the end of it. I'm not about to sit here and beg nobody for anything. I'm going to just do whatever it is that I'm going to do. And so if I feel like I deserve it, then I'm going to go and earn it. I'm not waiting on nobody to give me nothing. I don't feel like anybody owes me anything. I don't go into an interview, even in corporate America, and say stuff like, well, you guys deserve to pay me this because they making that. You get what you deserve. Often at times, I will tell you, I would say 9 times out of 10, I'm making way above whatever my contemporaries or my coworkers are, or any of my peers or anybody in that same industry, because I network effectively or whatever. And so I just think that if you don't like it, then get out of the industry, but don't complain about it. Go and get that bag, make better decisions, life decisions. So, but it's just too many other factors that go into it to just say, oh man, he deserves more. He deserves to be rich. I don't know what his lifestyle is. Somebody in the chat said that he paying child support to Kimora Lee Simmons, or he was busting down Kimora Lee Simmons or something like that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought it was an interesting story, though.